We now move to the second panel. I invite the panelists Sharif Mustafa, Rana Shmaitlib, Hussam Mahboub, Omar Samra, and Shadi Dabbara to come on stage. This panel is moderated by Armin Vardanyan, and the title is the MITF Arab Business Plan Competition Experience, What's Next?
Well, with limited time, the format is similar to the previous panels. We're going to devote some time for remarks. Louder. How's that? I was saying, we have the same amount of time as on the schedule. A few opening remarks from the panelists. I'll explain what I've asked them to remark on. And then some follow-up time, followed by 3 questions. Just as an introduction, because 2 of the panelists didn't receive communication from me, I wanted to start with a quick question for the audience. How many people are thinking about entering this competition this year? Okay, so you are their inspiration, okay? And all the previous speakers are your inspiration. So that's the cycle here. So it's not just them being your inspiration, you also have a role to play. And that's one goal of this discussion, is for at least those people, give them the ideas and your experience with the competition. And secondly, talk a little bit about where you are today and what your needs are today, whether it's immediate funding or customers, and we each have 2 minutes. So I'll cut you off on each person's speaking time. So hopefully that gives you a little idea of your remarks. I'll go this way.
First of all, I'm very glad. First of all, my name is Sharif Gersi. I'm the founder of Big Screen. I'm very excited to be with you today and to share with you in 2 minutes, my story, that I'm sure it's just a matter of time, and you will find a lot of people telling you the same story. I remember about 11 months ago, I was blaming a 9-year-old kid for wasting his time on the internet. I remember he told me, don't believe me, I'm not the one who invented the internet. Actually, this conversation made me think that instead of blaming people, try to provide them a solution. And it took for me 1 month to come up with an idea that I believe it can make our time very efficient with the internet. 2 months later, with 2 engineers, we developed our prototype for this idea. In another 2 months, we finished our business plan. And we applied to the MIT Business Plan competition for the last stage. Actually, we were participating from the beginning. We won the competition. In 3 months, in 3 weeks, only in 3 weeks after winning the competition, we were abroad by 4 VCs. In another 4 weeks, 3 big American companies contacted us, expressing their interest to partner with us. 2 months ago, I opened or registered a company for my small team in Cairo. Last month, we opened a very small office in Silicon Valley, America, for marketing and sales purposes. Actually, as you can see, it's only almost like 10 months. Started with 3 people, and we could achieve everything that I mentioned now. So I don't want you to be deceived by this story that we are different people or talented people. Actually, we are similar to anyone in our Arab countries, but we got the chance to take the benefits of the platform of the MIT Arab Business Plan competition. And I hope, as I mentioned in the beginning, you will hear the story of many people in the coming years, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Everyone can hear me? Good evening, everyone. I have a different. so I have a different version of this story. We participated in the first MIT Arab Business Plan competition with Capital Arabia, a web platform that aimed at bridging the gap between entrepreneurs and investors. And we reached the final round where we were challenged by very interesting judges that made us realize that our growth strategy was not very optimal. So we went back and we studied other models, and we saw that although the revenues were good, however, it was stagnant. So we put it on pause. However, this was not the end, this was actually the start. We kept on looking for other alternatives, for other opportunities, up until 2010, when we found an opportunity in online retail. And I moved back to Beirut this year to, along a partner, to start a new company. And where's a better place to start a company other than the MIT Arab Business Plan competition, sorry. So next year we will apply to the competition as well, and hoping to go full throttle and go live as of April and May 2012. Thank you.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, this is better. My name is Omar Samra. I'm the founder of Wild Wanabna. We specialize in experience-based travel. About 3 years ago, I was an investment banker working between London and Hong Kong. And then suddenly I saw the light and I decided to do something that I've always wanted to do, which is to share my experience with others of travel, and like travel inspired me to share these experiences with others and inspire other people. The biggest thing that MIT, the Business Plan Forum, did for me was that being an entrepreneur can actually be quite a lonely place. When I started the company, I was completely on my own. I went from working in a very comfortable environment to suddenly being in an office completely by myself with a limited startup capital, answering phones, sweeping floors and all the rest of it. And then when I joined the competition, I realized that actually I'm not really alone. There's a lot of people going through the exact same experience. And then when you start to really live with the entrepreneurs during the process and interacting more and more with the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the region, you realize that actually it is really buzzing and it's really happening in the region. And that's where I got my inspiration from. Right now, we've been 2.5 years in the business. We started off in Cairo. We're a bigger team now, and just 5 months ago, we established another office in Dubai to better service the GCC market. And just in October of last year, we became the first carbon neutral travel company in the Middle East and North Africa, which is something that we're very proud of. So that's my story. And if anyone has any questions after, I'll be done.
Hi, my name is Rana Shmaituli. I'm the founder of the Lead Engineer. It's a Lebanese-based initiative. I started it having a will to be a voice of change. It started to divert my 9-year-old boy from the internet and the PlayStation electronic games. And being an instructor at the university, I saw many students not prepared to choose their future career. So I said, how can I solve it? I created this platform to invest in youth, to let them build skills in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics at early age. So hopefully, I'm a woman entrepreneur. It's not easy at all, but we want to keep on doing this. My experience with MIT Arab Business Plan competition was amazing. I cannot express it. So being the first winner, being an entrepreneur by itself, a great achievement. So we won the exposure, the network, and we won a great learning environment, the practical training, the mentoring program. So I push every one of you, male or female, to go and apply. It's a great experience, not to be missed. And I would like to thank Abdelatif Jamil and the organizers and Aramax as well for funding this initiative. Today we won, tomorrow we will invest in other for sure. Thank you.
Good evening all. My name is Hassan Mahboob. I'm the founder and CEO of Al-Khawarizmi Software. I'd like to, first of all, say to everyone who intends to get into this competition, go for it. It'll change your life. MIT Arab Business Plan competition actually nurtures innovation, as Fanny was saying previously. Now, just to give you an idea of actually what we are doing, we have actually, over the past 21 years, we've been developing an innovative Arabic search solution that alleviates the pain that the poor Arabic user suffers from, of not being able to obtain useful and meaningful search results. We have a definite plan. We have a roadmap. We are in the market, a market which we have researched is worth $450 million for 348 million users. I'm sorry, $450 billion. We have already started installing our search engine in the market. We have installed on the daily page of Ahram newspaper in Egypt. And we have other things going on, partnerships with companies in Saudi Arabia for e-learning, because we have developed a strong e-learning search system that is necessary for e-learning solutions to have a linguistic software solution with the search itself. And so, where would we like to be in a year from now? We are still looking for our first round of funding. It's very difficult to get for the amount that we are asking for. We are in the what they call the early stage or Death Valley. I was just in InfoDev as a panelist, invited. They are setting up a fund for the emerging countries to actually fund the early stage, which are people in Death Valley. That's the technical name for it. And I was telling them, I'm reporting live from Death Valley. We will also, our search solution not only fits into websites and e-solutions and e-learning solutions, etc. We also intend to develop the same core technology to bring about a useful search for the Arabic user, an internet consumer search engine. Just like the Chinese have Baidu, the Russians have Yandex, why can't we have Al-Khawarizmi? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I wanted to just turn over questions to the time remaining. Raise your hand if you have a question. Okay. The question I have for you, because I didn't see any there, is around the concept of fear of failure. Talk a little bit more about that in your experience. You don't have to name names about people that criticize you in the beginning, or if you had failures. Kind of leave it open.
Yeah, about 15 years ago, I always wanted to get out of being an employee. It was stifling me, it was crippling me. And so I decided to form a company with a lady in English who was working at the same place I was working at. And we actually started off very well. We actually developed the spell checker for Microsoft, which is still used, the Arabic spell checker for Microsoft, which is still used until this very day. And then, after a certain stage, I realized that my partner really didn't know how to carry on the business. She told me, you keep the technical side of the business, and I will look at the marketing, and she really didn't have any idea. And I spent a lot of money, okay, and I lost it all. It was a big loss, and we parted. But at the time, I got the idea for the search engine. So sometimes failure will inspire you to go on.
Thank you, Sam. Any other comments? Rana?
Yes. In my opinion, the entrepreneur should never fear anything. So when I started my initiative, I started by investing from my own pocket to be a voice of change, and I said nothing to lose as far as I'm investing with my own kids. So I tested the market and it blew. So also when I started the first business, my ex-business, Also, I put that I was highly paid when being employed. I left everything just to fulfill a dream and to be a leader. So I think the entrepreneur shouldn't fear anything. Just close eyes and keep on dreaming, and you will reach one day.
Different question. I've read several of your plans. I remember them as a judge. So when you think back to the plan that you submitted to the competition, and you look at where you are today, and I know you're not where you said you were going to be, talk about that difference, and for those people thinking of applying, what would you change about the original plan and process that you went through for the competition, if anything? We'll start here.
Actually, I started with my plan almost like 9 months ago, but now I feel like almost like 80% of my plan changed. For a very simple reason. First of all, I learned I need to talk with a lot of people to take their opinion about my product before I start developing the product. And by talking, and by talking with different people, they always tell you what they need. It's not only about what I need, it's about what my customers need. So I hear a lot of different opinions, different directions that made me change the way I was planning to go to the market. I think to have a successful startup, you have to be flexible. Never count on your information. The world is changing every month, and the people are changing, the trending, the market, everything is changing. So you have to be flexible to change according to the day you are launching your product and technology.
Not only did I change 80% of the business plan, I actually changed the industries and the whole business plan. And, that's being flexible for you. Sometimes we have to adapt. Whenever there's an opportunity, we should not miss it. If we identify it soon enough and we invest in it, this is where we have the highest potential of success.
I mean, likewise here we're evolving for sure. I mean, if 2.5 years ago the kind of business that I started is extremely different than the one now. But I'd love to answer the first question you asked because it really resonated with me. When I started my career, I was in banking. 2.5 years into it, I thought I didn't feel good about going every day to the office behind a desk for 16 hours and the rest of it. So I decided that I would take a trip for 1 year and travel the world on my own, which my parents thought was an incredibly bad idea. But I did anyway. And then I came back, and it was the most incredible experience of my life. And I learned so much from it, and realized that it was good that I followed my instinct there. A few years after that, I decided that I wanted to go climb Mount Everest, and again my parents thought that was an incredibly bad idea, and so did everybody around me. But I went ahead and did it anyway, and again it was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. In 2009, in the height of the financial crisis, I decided to start a business that relied completely on discretionary spending, and then name it after a fruit, which also wasn't the best idea according to the people around me, but I did it anyway because I believed in it and I followed my intuition, and it has paid off because right now, 2.5 years later, I'm living every day doing exactly what I love to do. I feel inspired every day waking up and going to bed, and I feel that, so the message I think here is yes, I'm sure we should listen to the people around us, get advice, but at the end of the day, somehow your instinct and somehow your inside already knows who is the person that you need to become, and all you need to do is just listen to it and go for it.
Great. Well, thank you. 1 minute remaining. Any audience questions? Okay. Well, I get the time signal. Well, I just wanted to reiterate what Hala said in the beginning about being passionate, about working hard, and saying thank you. And you'll find that these panelists demonstrated all 3 of those behaviors and characteristics. So another round of applause for them.